Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope everyone's keeping safe. Hope you're all locked indoors. In the UK, another 800 people died. It's crazy, crazy times, crazy times. Hope everyone's staying at home, staying safe, and just keeping yourself away from being in contact with people. But yeah, let's move on to boxing. And let's talk Floyd Money Mayweather. There was a video put out by Behind the Gloves, I believe, saying that can Floyd Mayweather still beat Pacquiao, Spence and Crawford? The realistic fight for Mayweather is Pacquiao, of course, if he's going to fight a top level boxer. But in my opinion, Floyd Mayweather is a legend. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. I know some Pacquiao fans don't like hearing this, but he's a legend. The man's an absolute great fighter. I've admired what he's done. I've never been a huge fan, but I've admired what he's been able to achieve in the game. I've always admired him. But I don't think it makes business sense for Floyd Mayweather right now. Or I wouldn't say business sense. Yeah, business sense to fight Crawford or Spence for sure. I think they're too young. They're too fresh. In their prime, he smokes them. And Floyd Mayweather in his prime would have beaten Crawford and Spence comfortably, in my opinion. I think, it's even disrespectful asking that question because we're talking about one of the greatest fighters ever in Mayweather, and Crawford and Spence don't come anywhere near that category. They're not one of the greatest fighters ever. They don't come anywhere close to being, and I don't think even when they finish their career, they'll be considered as one of the greatest fighters ever. So I think that's very disrespectful to Mayweather by saying, could they beat him? Even in his prime, they say that could they beat him in his prime? Not a chance. Not a chance. And if you were to ask Bob Arum, he'd probably say Terence Crawford beats Mayweather in his prime. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Mayweather was a genius, defensive genius. There's no way Spence or Crawford beat him. I don't care what you say. They got physicality, size, reach, whatever you say. Mayweather would have worked out a way and found a way to win like he always did, or majority of the times. He was an unbelievable fighter. He was a defensive wizard. All these guys learned off Mayweather, right? And as they say, the student can't beat the master. A lot of these guys are students. Look at Canelo. Look how good Canelo is. And as Mayweather said, Canelo's copied some of his moves. Mayweather was exceptional. There's a reason why he was able to beat so many world champions. There's no way Spence or Crawford, and I don't know why people still talk about this, but no way Spence or Crawford could beat him. He would have easily beaten those guys. In prime, Mayweather would have destroyed Crawford and Spence. Easy work for Mayweather. Mayweather made fighters, in my opinion, better than them. Beat them. Canelo. Beat him comfortably. Cotto. Would Spence and Crawford beat him Cotto? Do you know what I mean? He beat them, beat him comfortably. He beat some exceptional fighters comfortably. De La Hoya. He didn't beat De La Hoya comfortably. That was close. Zab Judah. Mayweather beat Sugar Shane Mosley. This is what I'm trying to say. Mayweather was a phenomenon. He beat some exceptional fighters. So for us to disrespect him and say, could Mayweather... Well, it was basically the title, could Mayweather beat Spence and Crawford now? The answer is no, in my opinion. But in his prime, he would have destroyed Spence and Crawford. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think those guys would have been able to match with Mayweather. Simple as that. That's my opinion, and I want to end on that, really. Mayweather would have smoked Spence or Crawford, in my opinion, in his prime. They don't come close. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, I praised Mayweather in the last video. I want to talk about Jose Luis Castillo came out and said the fans know, the world knows, the boxing fans know that Floyd Mayweather is not undefeated. He lost to me the first time. Listen, I think most people in boxing that have followed boxing for a very long time, that know about boxing, most people know that Floyd Mayweather lost to Jose Luis Castillo. Unfortunately, Castillo didn't get the decision. At that time, that was being rubbed as one of the biggest robberies. It wasn't one, in my opinion, one of the biggest robberies, but it was definitely a fight that, in my opinion, Castillo won. And because Mayweather was being made out to be a next superstar, next star, I feel like he was given the nod by the judges. Let's not forget, in Mayweather's amateur career at the Olympics, Mayweather also suffered at the hands of the judges, where he won a bronze medal when really he should have won a gold. But this night, Mayweather, the luck favored him, the fortunes favored him, and the judges favored him. Really, when majority of the boxing fans were up in arms, they all thought he lost. And I thought he lost. When I go back watch that fight, I think he lost that fight. I do. And Mayweather's had some close shaves. Did he beat De La Hoya? Did he beat Madonna the first time? You know, these were all close fights. But the Castillo fight was, in my opinion, it should have been black and white. He lost that. I think most people know that he lost it. But I think the reason why Mayweather gets a pass for that fight is because he beat him in the rematch. He beat him in the rematch. And Mayweather put the wrong right. But Castillo probably feels aggrieved because he probably feels that he was the only man to beat Floyd Mayweather and he never got the nod. And it was injustice. It was unfair. Is Castillo right to complain? Yeah, because I think most of the boxing fans thought he won. Just like most of the boxing fans thought Fury beat Wilder. But to rub it in, Castillo didn't even get a draw. He didn't even get a draw. At least Wilder got a draw. You know, Mayweather came away with a win. And that, I think, hurt Luis Castillo because I think Castillo felt he won that fight. And majority of the boxing fans felt he won that fight. So I think people forget about it because people now just talk about 50-0. But Mayweather's had some tough nights, had some tough moments. He has to come through a lot. But I think that Castillo fight was one where, you know, he should have had an L on his record. So I know we love to talk about Floyd Mayweather's 50-0. And we love to talk about it, but really don't know whether we should have got that decision, if I'm honest with you. And I'm being brutally honest. I don't think he deserved that decision. You know, I think he lost that fight, really. But like I said, he was being built up to be the next megastar. So, you know, they ended up giving him that fight. You know, I think most of the boxing fans at that point were up in arms because they all thought Mayweather had lost the fight. You know, I remember watching that fight, and then after the fight, I think it was Jim Lampley saying that this is a robbery. This is a huge robbery. But it's crazy that because it was a long time ago, we've kind of forgotten about it. Nobody even mentions it or talks about it. We all go on about his 50-0 record. And listen, on paper, it's 50-0. It doesn't matter whether people thought that was a robbery. You know, Bradley beat Manny Pacquiao the first time. On paper, he has beaten Pacquiao. Even though that was seen as one of the biggest robberies in boxing ever. You know, at the end of the day, on paper, Bradley won that fight. Even though most of the boxing fans know that he lost, on paper, Bradley won. And I guess in years to come, that's what people are going to remember, what happened on paper. Because when you look back at it in 70, 80 years' time, history will say Bradley's got a win over Pacquiao. Even though everybody knows that really he lost. But in 70 years' time, fans won't know whether that was a robbery. They're going to just look into history and say, oh, Bradley got the win. Same with Mayweather and Castillo. No one's going to talk about it in 100 years' time. You know, Mayweather really lost to Castillo. Only the, you know, boxing historians will know that actually that was a very close fight, or a fight that where Mayweather got lucky. He shouldn't have got the decision. But again, you know, in a 50-fight career, you're going to have fights where you're going to struggle, or you may get a lucky decision. That happens in a lot of fighters' career. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Did you think Mayweather lost that fight against Jose Luis Castillo? What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, so let's talk about this Paulie Malignaggi accusation. Fans up in arms. Some of you are not happy with the accusations that Manny Pacquiao has been hit with in terms of the PED use, and a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans have been up in arms for a long time about this PED situation. People think, accusing him. Let me put it out there that irrespective of what people think about Pacquiao, right, whether they think whatever he's done, people think it's only accusations, he never failed a drugs test. Manny Pacquiao fans accuse Floyd of doing dodgy stuff. Here's the thing. For me, Manny Pacquiao is a legend. Floyd Mayweather is a legend. Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Forget all of the rest, the crap, the accusation. Forget the PED accusations. Manny Pacquiao is a legend. He's gone down in history of boxing. There's always going to be certain people, when you're really good at something, questioning whether what he did normal. But, you know, greatness is not normal. And listen, I even said I understand what Paulie Malignaggi's saying, right? He's made some good points. But, again, like I said in my previous video, are we going to start questioning everybody that's good in sport? Right, there's certain people doing crazy things in other sport, right, and have done crazy things in other sport, which makes you think, wow, can a guy be that fast? Can a guy be that strong? There are other sportsmen in other fields we can question. You know, so if we're going to go down that road, if we're going to start questioning everybody that's exceptional in their field, that's great, and we're going to start saying, well, he's not natural. There's no way he can be natural. He's too good, or he's too powerful, or he's too fast, or, you know, we're going to have to start going down that road. But one thing I will say is that, for me, Pacquiao's a legend regardless. I just think I think he's a special fighter. You know, I've always been a Manny Pacquiao fan, you know, ever since I first saw him. Now, certain people will have their opinions because the guy was moving up weight classes and bashing bigger men, and not just bashing them, beating them up, cracking them, walking through them. So of course people are going to see that and say, nah, this can't be normal. But not everyone. Firstly, he's obviously a lot better than most fighters. Let's get that out there, right? He's more talented than most fighters, better than most fighters. That's why, otherwise it doesn't matter what he's taking, what you think he's taking, he wouldn't have achieved what he achieved. Simple as that. He wouldn't have achieved what he achieved. He's obviously way better. Listen, you could put other boxers and say, if you think, give them the most strongest performance enhancing drug, and they won't be able to achieve what Pacquiao's achieved. It's because he's very good. All right. Now, there's always going to be a question mark there. But again, there's no proof, right? There's been other guys that have been caught that were cash cows in the sport, right? And this guy's been boxing for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And he's never failed one test. And that's not a good look for boxing. If you're saying, you're accusing this guy of being on something, that doesn't put boxing in good light at all, because he's been fighting for what, almost 4 decades. So it doesn't put boxing in good light at all. He's starting his 4th decade, Manny Pacquiao. Never failed a test. So as far as I'm concerned, he's a legend, and I just think I think he's one of the best fighters I've seen, one of the most exciting fighters I've seen. Power, speed, movement, he had everything. He had Pacquiao, for me, yeah, his defense was a bit shoddy, but that's because he was so aggressive. You're gonna, you can't, if you're an aggressive fighter, you're gonna leave openings for fighters, and that's why he did get knocked out. But there was a time in his career where that period that people accuse him of was where he was exceptional. He was exciting to watch. Even when the fights were one-sided, when he was beating the guys up and they were one-sided, he was exciting to watch. His style was so fan-friendly. is unbelievable. Just a great watch. He's just been a great watch. So I'll always view Manny Pacquiao as a legend, and he'll go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Of all time. And that's my opinion of him. So I don't think you should get upset about people's opinion. People will have their opinions regardless. You know, when someone's great at something, and that's not just with Manny Pacquiao, that happens with a lot of sportsmen around the world. If you may not be into other sports, that's why you may not know the accusations, you know, going around with someone like Usain Bolt. People may be accusing him. You know, we just don't know. I don't follow sprinting or 100-meter sprinting like that to know. But there's probably people in that sport that are accusing someone that's great because he's running crazy. He's running 100 meters in such, you know, in small times and stuff. So, like I said, I think there's always going to be accusation. The fact is, the man's never failed, and that's all we can go by. And he's one of boxing's royalties. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time. So that's my opinion. You guys leave your opinion and I'll respond to you in the comment section. Guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, I want to make a video about Amir Khan. Now, a lot of you guys are saying in the comment section, I read all your comments, as you know, I respond to most of you. You're saying Amir Khan's not an elite fighter. This is what some of you have had to say. That Amir Khan's not an elite fighter, in your opinion, in some of your opinions. Now, firstly, I don't agree with this. I definitely don't agree with that. At one point, here's the thing about whether he's an elite fighter. What's your category of being an elite fighter? If your category of being an elite fighter is Terence Crawford, Lomachenko, Canelo, if that's what you call elite fighter, then he doesn't fit into that category. No, because he's not as consistent as consistent as they are. He's not got the boxing IQ that they have. He's not calm under pressure like they are, right? And consistently. But if you're saying Josh Taylor's elite, right, then Amir Khan's elite, right? There's no way you can tell me that Josh Taylor is elite and Amir Khan's not elite. He was at one point when he beat Zab Judo in the top 10 pound for pound, right? He's beaten some very good names in boxing, right? Respected names in boxing. So it all depends on what you guys think is elite, right? Depends on what you guys think is elite. If you think, you know, Terence Crawford, Canelo, and Crawford, Lomachenko, these are what you think should be classified as elite, then no, he doesn't fit into that category. In his prime, he was very good. He was below them, but in his prime, he was an excellent fighter. He was an excellent fighter. And I feel like a lot of you guys just don't intentionally give him credit and talk about other things, his chin and stuff, but you don't give him credit about some of the things that he did great in his prime. You know, and let me tell you about Amir Khan's prime years. Amir Khan's prime years were under Freddie Roach, right? His prime years were under Freddie Roach. So that takes out the Prescott defeat. His prime years were from Marco Antonio Barrera to Danny Garcia. That was his prime years. And in that period, he lost twice, right? He lost to Lamont Peterson, who most people thought he beat. Let's not forget, in that fight, he dropped Peterson 3 times. He dropped Peterson 3 times in that fight, right? And he got points taken away, right? And that fight was controversial, split decision, very close, right? And Lamont Peterson afterwards failed a drugs test. And a lot of you guys give him stick for not rematching the guys that he lost. He was rematching Lamont Peterson, right? And Lamont Peterson failed a drugs test. So how is that Amir Khan's fault, right? Also with Danny Garcia defeat. We all know that Angel Garcia made some remarks about Amir Khan and he was angry. He went into that fight angry, and I thought he fought the wrong fight. I thought he fought the wrong fight, and he ended up getting caught. He wasn't able to recover, and he got knocked out. It happened to Joshua, right? But some people don't even think Anthony Joshua's elite, right? Some people think that Anthony Joshua's not elite. It's everyone's opinion. Bob Arum said Joshua's not elite. Okay, so we lost to Danny Garcia. Now, he wanted the rematch with Danny Garcia. He wanted to fight Danny Garcia. It was Danny Garcia that didn't want to fight Amir Khan. And you guys know that Amir Khan wanted the rematch. His dad and Danny Garcia were never keen on the rematch with Khan. Why is that? Why do I think they weren't keen? Because they probably knew he would outbox them in the rematch. They never fancied it, even though that would have made Danny Garcia huge money. Can you imagine a rematch with him and Amir Khan and Danny Garcia would have been a massive fight. But Danny Garcia didn't fancy the job. His dad didn't fancy the job. They didn't want it. They clearly said, we're moving on. We don't want to fight him again. So how is that Amir Khan's fault? What mistake Amir Khan made is when he was mandated to fight for the WBC title at 147 pounds, he went and fought Canelo. His trainer, Virgil Hunted, wanted him to take the Danny Garcia fight as well. And I think at that point, he would have beaten Danny Garcia. I'm very confident he would have beaten Danny Garcia in a rematch. But again, if Amir Khan, like I said this before, if Amir Khan had beaten Danny Garcia, you guys would have said Danny Garcia is no good. Just the way he beat Zab Judah, and you said Zab Judah was over the hill, but then Zab Judah went 2 years later, went life and death with Danny Garcia. 2 years after Amir Khan destroyed him. Now, Amir Khan battered Malignaggi, and then Malignaggi years later went on to win a welterweight world title. And a lot of you guys say this as well. I want to point this out. A lot of you guys say, well, Amir Khan's not been world champion for 8 years. Right? If Amir Khan wanted to cherry pick and fight easy opponents, he could have easily become world champion at different weight classes. Let me tell you, Amir Khan beat Devin Alexander. If I believe he's a 2-weight world champion, if I'm not mistaken. Malignaggi was a 2-weight world champion. That wasn't even a close fight. Amir Khan battered Malignaggi. Devin Alexander, that wasn't a close fight. Devin Alexander was a 2-weight. Now, if Amir Khan fought Devin Alexander when he was welterweight world champion, he would have been world champion at welterweight. Broner was a welterweight world champion. Amir Khan would have beaten Adrian Broner. Maidana became a welterweight world champion. Amir Khan beat Marcos Maidana, if you guys don't remember, right? Amir Khan, when Liam Smith became world champion at 154, he beat a guy called Thompson. Don't you think if Amir Khan wanted to cherry pick a world title, he could have gone and beat Thompson for a 154-pound title? If he wanted to, he could have cherry picked world titles and become a 3-weight world champion, no problem. But then you guys would have said, oh, well, he never fought anyone. Do you see where I'm coming with this? There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. If he had won multiple world titles at multiple weights, you would have said, well, he's never really fought anyone. He beat Zab Judah. You said he's over the hill. But then Zab Judah gave Danny Garcia a life and death fight. He beat Malignaggi. You guys said Malignaggi's no good. But then Malignaggi went and won a world title at welterweight. He beat Marcos Maidana. And you guys said, well, Maidana's no good. Maidana was crap anyway. This is. I'm just saying some of the things that you say. Do you see? So you guys make who you feel fit elite. That's it. So I don't know when you say is he elite. I don't know, because it depends on what you think elite is. If you think elite is Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao, then no, he's not elite. If you think Crawford, Canelo, and Lomachenko are elite, no, he doesn't fit into that category. But if you think Josh Taylor's elite, then yeah, he is elite. What's elite though? What's your definition of elite? So for you, a unified champion isn't an elite fighter? Is that what you're saying? Like, a unified champion can't be an elite fighter? That's what you're basically saying, right? He was unified champion at one point in his career. And if he was fighting in today's 140-pound division, he'd probably be undisputed champion. With how weak the 140-pound division is today, he'd probably be undisputed. If he had the run, if he had to fight the champions that Crawford had to fight to become, he'd probably be undisputed. Crawford had to fight, who did he fight? Victor Postal. Do you honestly think Amir Khan wouldn't have beat Victor Postal? Right? He had to fight Julio Ndongo to become undisputed champion. He had to fight Ndongo. Just imagine Danny Garcia against Ndongo. Or Danny Garcia against Postal. Or Danny Garcia against... Crawford didn't fight top guys in 140 pound. Look at the division when Amir Khan was fighting. Matisse, Maidana, Zab Judah, Tim Bradley, Devin Alexander, Matisse, Lamont Peterson. Do you see where I'm coming with this? It was top fighter after top fighter after top fighter. But I feel like a lot of you guys don't really give him much credit for it. But anyway, that's my opinion. That's my rant over. So I don't know. It depends on what you think's elite. I think he was elite because my definition of elite is not being Mayweather, is not being Pacquiao. I feel guys below that can also be elite. But like I just said, If you think Mayweather and Pacquiao, Canelo, Crawford, Lomachenko, that's what you have to be elite, then he doesn't fit into that category because he's not as consistent as them. He's more erratic. He makes a lot more mistakes than those guys make. That's why he's got the losses on his record. But if you think Josh Taylor is elite, then Amir Khan's beaten big names in the sport that he deserves to be elite. So it just depends on what your opinion is from that side. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I want to thank you all for me reaching 7,000 subs. I appreciate your support. Guys, as you can probably see from my channel art, I have recently started Patreon and Blogger. If you were to click on this icon here, it will take you to my Patreon page, and I just want to take you through my Patreon page. So at the minute, I've got 2 options. Hopefully, I will increase this if my Patreon grows. But at the minute, I've got one option, which is $1 a month fan donation, which will obviously help me produce better quality content on YouTube and faster for you guys. And I've got another option of $3 a month for 2 live streams a week discussing boxing with myself. You guys will get to speak to me face to face, and I'll take you to my boxing blog. So if you were to click on this B sign here, it will take you to my boxing blogs, which is this page here. And all you have to do is click on here, and that will take you to my boxing blogs, where you can see all my different articles that I've wrote. So as you can see, I've wrote 6 articles about different topics. So if you want to click on one of my articles, all you got to do is click on this, and it will take you straight to the article, and you can read it, and you can then go back and read the others if you would like. But yeah, guys, I thought I'd just highlight this to you. So make sure to read my articles. Make sure to subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested. And guys, I thank you for your support. I thank you for me reaching 7,000 subs. Guys, I'm out.